The opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Eastlink Community TV, its sponsors, or partners.
This episode of RT Cooks It is made possible by the generous support of Hickman Automotive Group.
Hello everybody, my name's Chris, my friends call me RT, and this is RT Cooks It. Today it's bacon cheeseburger pizza. Delicious. I don't know if I ever told you how much I have a love for pizza. Don't go too far, come right back, we're gonna eat it. Yes, sir, it's bacon cheeseburger pizzas today. I have the bacon already cooked. It does take a long time cooking it like this. We did it on another show last season, probably about 40 minutes. So we don't have all that time. And there's that deliciousness. We'll get all that out and draining. We're gonna want that to drain. Try and let some of the fat get out of it. Now listen, fat is flavored. We don't wanna lose it all, but we do want to get rid of some of it. Set this off to the side. So for the dough, and it's Towton dough, this is bread dough that you buy at the store, and I want to put a fair amount of oil on the bottom. What I want to happen is I actually want the bottom to fry a little bit, so it'll give like a little bit of a crisp on the bottom, and then I don't roll this dough out. This dough, I just lay it on here and I sort of finesse it and caress it over a bit of time until it stretches out to where I want it to be. So we'll get this out of the bag, get this on the, not cooperating very well today, but we'll get it out. There's one. And we'll get out a second one. We want it thick like a bun, like we're making a bacon cheeseburger pizza. So you want the dough to have a good thick crust, as if it's the bun for your burger. We have the ground on, and once I get this out, I'm gonna take a look at the ground and just see where we're at, if it needs ready for spice. And today, for the ground beef, I'm gonna use a little bit of steak and burger spice. This is from the Newfoundland Seasoning Company. And it's really nice to be able to get something so close to home that tastes so delicious. And this is a spice I use all the time. We're gonna use this for our burgers. It's a good spice. Take this and we'll just open it up. Open it up. Brand new, this one. We'll open it up and we're gonna give a sprinkle in here. We're gonna put a little more on when we actually make the pizza, but I do wanna get some in here and to get it to start to cook down and mix around and mingle. So this ground is looking perfect. It's been on here for about 15 minutes. I did start it before we started making the pizza today, just save on a little bit of time. This is almost cooked to perfection now. Oh yes. Just keep touching that down. I'm gonna turn that right down on low. We're just gonna let it simmer, and we'll let those spices sort of mingle and absorb in. So for the dough, like I said, this is sort of a finesse game. So we just put a little bit of oil on top, a little bit of oil on the bottom, give the old hands a little wash. And we're gonna get our hands right in. And we're gonna, I don't know if you've ever seen somebody make like a focaccia. This is kind of focaccia. This is what you do. You just sort of caress the dough until it bends to your will. It's like, which way do you want it to go? And it takes a little bit of time. So you gotta spread it out. You gotta let it rest. And I find what happens is you get the best texture this way. I was never fortunate enough to go to culinary school. So I don't know exactly what technique I'm taking advantage of here, but it really works well, this particular technique. I don't know the science behind it or the chemistry behind it, but I do know it works. So that's all that really matters. Oh yeah, it's coming together. So we just give this like a, spread it out, spread it out. We'll put this off to the side. I'll give my hands another little wash. You can feel the dough is not quite room temperature. It's only gonna take about 10 minutes to get there. 10 or 15 minutes, we'll let it warm up, and while we do that, we'll get the rest of the ingredients put together. Everything that goes on here is a lot, and it really feels like a lot when you're putting it on. But once you actually get to the end of this and cook it, it's a nice combination, a nice match. Now, listen, you have to like onions, you have to like bacon, you gotta like ketchup. Yes, I said ketchup. and maybe a little piece of 2 or dill pickle. So we'll just these onions, and we want to leave the onions thick. We don't want them too thin. You want them to still have some bite when you get into them. So we'll just cut all these onions up. And the bacon is, I think, drained nicely. Everything else is coming together great. Oh, a little bit of skin. Now the onions, there's lots of different ways to cut onions. Everybody sort of does them. My technique to cut them for this particular style of cut that I want is I take the root off and then just go right down the onion, and you use your fingers, right? Your fingers are the guide, so you can't cut yourself because your fingers are back, and you just go slow. See, look at that, nice and slow. Put the onions in, pile them all up. I'd say we're going to need 1 more onion will be enough, just based on looking at it, based on making them before. You can see the dough is resting nicely. Everything's looking perfect. We better get at that ground beef and have a look at that ground beef. So this pizza, this has been a long journey. Bacon cheeseburger pizza, in my mind, I thought it'd be the greatest pizza you could ever make because, like, I mean, come on, smash burgers, cheeseburgers, it's all delicious. Pizza, delicious. So in my mind, it was the greatest burger ever, or the greatest pizza that could ever be made. And I made it a lot of times. It all started in Labrador, actually. We've talked about Labrador before. This is where I go with a bunch of buddies. They bring a bunch of food, and I just make a bunch of food. And it was up there where I started to make this. I didn't have all the right ingredients. I used pizza sauce originally, and the pizza sauce was fine. And the mozzarella cheese only was fine. We didn't have any extra bacon, unfortunately, so there was no bacon on it, so it was just a cheeseburger pizza the first time around. And everything about it was good, and we only had a pizza dough kit, same as I made another pizza on the show, like a pizza pie. We had the same kit as the pizza pie, so I made it with that kit, and it was fine, but it wasn't the same. So it's like, you just keep trying. You keep going and going and going. If it doesn't turn out how you want it today, try it again in a week, try it again in a month, try it again however long it takes. One of the pizzas on last year's show, lots of memories. I delivered for Santa Maria Pizza. And the pizza I wanted was that pizza. I was living in Newfoundland, and I wanted Santa Maria Pizza from Thompson, Manitoba. And I couldn't get it here. So, as foolish as it sounds, I spent 8 years trying to reproduce that pizza. Now listen, you only make the pizza every few months. After the course of 8 years, the pizza was perfect. This pizza, same thing. Started with pizza sauce. Now, I hope you're all sitting down. No pizza sauce. Ketchup is going to be the pizza sauce. Wait until you try it. If you haven't tried it yet, you're going to be beside yourself. My friend Denise, sitting at my island in the house, making her and her husband and some friends bacon cheeseburger pizza. I broke out the ketchup, started jamming it on top of the dough. She thought I lost my mind. She didn't know what the heck I was at. But she said, I'll trust you because I've had some of your food before, and I'll trust what you're doing here today. We'll give it a shot. The ground beef is on the move. It's getting very close. The dough is going to take a couple more rounds of stretching. We got the onions done. We got everything else coming together. Don't go too far. We're going to get this pizza put together and cook it. See you soon.
For Belfour, it's not just restoration. It's your home. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Whether it's an occasional helping hand or 24/7 assistance, TLC Nursing and Home Care offers in-home, household management, and workplace healthcare services. Celebrating 50 years of care in Newfoundland and Labrador,
This program is proudly presented by the all-new Dodge Hornet and Hickman Automotive Group.
Welcome back. Bacon Cheeseburger Pizza Day. Look out, we're going to have a good time, and you're here to be part of it. Thanks for coming. We got the ground beef is all mixed up, ready to go. We have that wonderful steak and burger spice from the Newfoundland Seasoning Company mixed in already. While you were away watching a nice message from my sponsors, I went ahead and spread the dough out. And I stretched it out and I rolled it out underneath to try and help it stay stretched. So now I'm just going to let it release it, and it should stay pretty close to where it is now. And it just seems to help it hold, because it really, the dough really springs back a lot. And you got to remember, it's bread dough is really what we're dealing with here. So it's not really, designed or built or made to be stretched out in this fashion. Usually you put it in a loaf, you put it in a roll, you would do all kinds of different things. So we'll just spread it out a little bit. We'll get it even. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Wash your hands. And I was thinking about, the reason, one of the other reasons for stretching it out this way is like in Labrador or at Moose Camp or we go out on quad trips to gamble or wherever we're going, there's never a rolling pin around. So this is the best way to make it happen. So now, here we go. This is where it is, ketchup for a sauce. And it's gonna surprise you. It's gonna be this little sweet in the background, this little taste in the background that you never thought you'd have on pizza, but then you start to wonder why you've never had it on pizza before, because it is going to surprise you. We'll spread this out just like a pizza sauce. I'm heavy on the ketchup when I make things. If I have a cheeseburger, I go heavy on the ketchup. When I eat French fries, I go with a lot of ketchup. Same with this pizza. We're going to go with a heavy dose. If we were to call it extra sauce on a pizza, we're going to call it extra sauce on this pizza. We're almost there. I think a little bit more, and I'm actually going to layer a little bit in as well. The dough it's going to be a thick dough, so it's going to need a lot to make up for not tasting completely like dough. So we'll just put that back in the sink. There we go. That's the start of a thing of beauty. Ground beef. And we just spread this out. This is of course the burger part of our bacon cheeseburger. Just a little strain. Listen, fat is flavor. Don't worry about getting a little bit of it. We'll just spread this out as best we can. We want a good thick layer. We're making a pizza like we're making a real pizza, big, thick pizza. We're not doing one, I have a wood-fired pizza oven. We cook pizzas in there. We put on very few toppings. We cook it very fast, very high temperatures. This pizza, we're probably going to cook this around 400 for somewhere close to 40 minutes. I'm going to put it right on the bottom of the oven first. That's going to get that bottom to crisp up and bubble a little bit. And then we'll move it up to the middle and we'll let it finish off. I think we're doing pretty good. There's not much ground left in there. We'll just get it all. There's the ground. Now, into the onions. So these onions, we just want to break them up a little bit, and I'm telling you, it looks like I've gone crazy with onions, but it is the right amount of onions. Lots of experimenting, lots of practicing. You won't know it until you try it to say that, well, you know what, Chris, that's the right amount of onions. Get all this in. Oh, a couple thick pieces. We'll leave those out. Spread this around. A little more, I think. I think we're going to need just a touch more. Oh, this is looking. Look at this. It's a pie. I don't know what to call it. I might need a hand carrying it to get it to the oven. Look at the size of it. We'll get this spread out. And this is, so we take the ATVs. We go to my buddy Chris's cabin and gamble. All I have to bring, I don't have to bring anything. The only thing I have to bring is enough to make this pizza. For one guy, 5 guys, 10 guys, however many guys are coming, how many fellas are there, that's what I have to bring. If they're there for 5 days, it doesn't matter. This is all they want me to bring. They all take care of the rest of the groceries. Now, just another little layer just to make sure we know we're eating ketchup. We don't want to miss out on the ketchup. This was an addition. I think this might be the last, that might be the last little piece to finish off the pizza. What I did with a little bit of extra ketchup. Double cheddar. So this is a white and an orange cheddar. We're going to put a light layer of this on, and then we're going to put the bacon on, and then we're going to sort of blend in a little bit of mozzarella. The mozzarella on top, it melts a little better. It's not as greasy. The cheddar can be a little greasy, but we'll put a little bit on, just a light layer here. Just a small bit, just a small bit. Like I said, you want to know, it's like a cheeseburger. Like it's not a smash burger. I mean, this is a cheeseburger. It's the thing. Then we get the bacon. And I did put the bacon on top of the cheese at one time. I left it less cooked and put it on top of the cheese, and it doesn't really turn out. You want to render off a lot of the fat, and you want to get it crunchy and crispy. You know, my buddy's son, Daniel, we're up in Labrador. My buddy's son, Daniel, comes to me and says, do you like fatty bacon or do you like crispy bacon? I said, well, I don't know. I like bacon. I don't really think I care how it's cooked. As long as it's bacon, I'm happy. I mean, not everybody feels that way about bacon, but a lot of people feel that way about bacon. I'd say you're in the minority if you're not a big fan of bacon. All right. I don't know. Does it look even? I hope not. Never want it even. You want it to be like a mix. I got to wash my hands. I'm sure we got more room. There's more room for more cheese. Well, just cheese, actually. There's nothing else to put on there. We do have to garnish it at the end. Well, it's like you have chili peppers and you have Parmesan cheese that you put over top of pizzas. Like when you get a pizza at the restaurant, that's what you put over top of it. What we put on here is we put on dill pickles. So we'll chop up some dill pickles, and it's sort of a personal preference thing. So there's a little bit of cheddar, and then we want that sort of between the onions and the mozzarella. And like I said, the mozzarella, it makes a better coat. It looks better. It's got a nice browning to it. The cheddar has a tendency it could possibly burn. So we want to make sure we get this spread out. Oh, I'm telling you. It tastes as ridiculous as it looks, I'm telling you right now. All right. I think that's it right there. A little bit of a workout. Pickles. So this is the garnish. So this is the only thing I put on it. Some people do ask for mustard, and they spread mustard across the top. And this is going to be just like a steak, just like a pork chop, just like spaghetti. However you eat it is perfect for you. It doesn't matter to me. It's what you want. Somebody asked me for mustard to put on this thing. Best kind, you can have it. No trouble. And this, we want to dice this up. So there's about the size you want, and that's going to be what you're going to sprinkle over top. I did put it on the pizza one time beforehand, and the cooked pickles just didn't really turn out. Like it wasn't right. And you don't really get cooked pickles on your burger. So we'll go with the cold pickles to go on after once it's all cooked. We have a monster built. We're going to put it in the oven. Hopefully it doesn't break down. And then we're going to come back and we're going to try it. Don't go very far. Stick around. We'll be back shortly.
This program is proudly presented by the all-new Dodge Hornet and Hickman Automotive Group.
TLC Nursing and Home Care offers a province-wide team of registered and licensed practical nurses, personal care attendants, and homemakers to help their clients maintain independence at home. Celebrating 50 years of care in Newfoundland and Labrador.
For Belfour, it's not just restoration. It's your home. Belfour, restoring more than property.
Bacon cheeseburger pizza. Come on, look at this pizza. Tell me that is not going to be delicious. We're going to have to let that cool down for about 3.5 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and take it out and cook it up. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and make a drink. A few shows I've made drinks. Today I want to make a drink. Espresso martini, my version of espresso martini. Of course, there's lots of different versions, lots of different ways to do stuff. We have ice in the shaker. I have some espresso here. This is a jigger, so I'm going to go about 2 ounces of espresso. Oop, little mess, that's okay. Jameson's cold brew coffee. We'll do about 1.5 ounces of that. Ooh, a little better than 1.5 ounces. Little too much. We'll put it over there. It's not going to taste quite right if we set the balance off. And we'll do 1.5 ounces of some bourbon cream. Get that in the shaker. I'm so excited about that pizza, I can hardly hold myself together. We'll give that a shake. We'll get out of here, out of the mess I made. Shake that up over ice. Fancy martini glass and everything. You could chill the martini glass if you wanted. Today I figured I'd just have it as is. There we go. My version of an espresso martini. Like I say, there's lots of ways to make it. This is just my way to make it. We'll give it a try. Great flavor. It's like, I guess it's not okay to have that in the morning for breakfast, is it? I guess it's a afternoon snack kind of drink. It's the perfect kind of drink for it. Flavors and flavor combinations, you know, these are things you should mess around with at home as much as possible. You should just be experimenting all the time. Try and venture out a little bit. Don't be afraid to make something that doesn't work out. I spent 20 years messing around with food, and for 20 years I had a frozen pizza in the freezer every day of the week because sometimes what I made simply wasn't very good. This is my collection of spices. This is what I come to for inspiration. This is where I come to decide what I might like to do with a piece of meat, with a piece of chicken, a piece of pork, anything. And don't worry what it says. Just because it says that it's a pork spice doesn't mean it can only go on pork. It can go on chicken. It might go on a flank steak nicely. 2 of the spices mixed together might go on a flank steak nicely. Sauces, be adventurous. Try some spicy sauces. Don't be afraid to not like something. Be more afraid to not try something. This is, and because I was never fortunate enough to go to culinary school, and I've said this time and time again, I don't know what spice percentages go with what spice percentages. I don't know how to mix rosemary and thyme and oregano correctly to make a nice Italian spice or to make a nice spice. So I rely on spice blends, and I rely on sauces, and I rely on them a lot to get me through some adventurous food. Trips to Florida, trips to Toronto, trips to Ottawa, trip to Vancouver, trip to Calgary. I take an extra suitcase. You know what comes back in my suitcase? Spices and sauces. Lots of them. This is why I needed to build such a big spice rack. I mean, you look across the top here, here's some things from Florida, some instant seasoned flour and some different breads, beer bread and biscuits and all things that I can't find here at home, so I bring it back from there. There's even microwavable pork rinds. All these great things to find. I walk around grocery stores. I enjoy my time in grocery stores. I take my time. I consider myself a food enthusiast. I love food. I love everything about food. I love eating food. I love cooking food. I love watching people cook food. I love it when people cook food for me. I love going to restaurants. I love cooking shows, all of it. Anything to do with food is just, I have all kinds of time for, and I love doing it, and I love being at it. And I really think you need to be adventurous and you need to try flavors, because if you're not, you're missing out on a very big part of life. All right, pizza. Let's get into this pizza. We'll take a little look. I think the bottom probably got nicely browned, a little crisp. Oh, yes, crispy and crunchy. Looks like it's going to be perfect. So what we want to do is we want to get this under here. I'm going to take these heat pads out because it has cooled enough that I can actually touch the pan. So we just want to lift this up, get that, there we go, just like that. Oh, every time I take a pizza out of a pan, it makes me smile. I'm not sure why. I think it's because of what I'm about to enjoy. I'm sure that's part of it. Give my hands a little wash. we'll get into this, dry them off, give this a cut. We'll just give it some little bit of loving across. We'll cut it into some nice sized pieces. We have a good crowd here today to eat this pizza. Hopefully they can get through the whole thing. We'll see, it'll be a test. Get this cut, chopped up into nice sized pieces. I always say, I try to cut this particular pizza into pieces that you could eat 2 pieces of it, because it is a thick pizza. So if you can get 2 pieces in here, you're doing pretty good. One more little chop. Get this all cut up, and then I got to decide what piece I want. This is a big decision. Which one I want to try. And I'm over here. We have this here looks delicious. I think I'm just going to pull this out. We're going to see if we can see what's on here. We got onions, we got ketchup, we got a little bit of everything. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold the boat. Hold the boat. Whoa! How can we be at this without dill pickles? What was I thinking? We'll get those dill pickles. Dill pickles, our garnish. Chopped up, diced up, beautiful, delicious dill pickles. We'll put a couple of those on just to help. And I think I'm just going to go one little bit further, just because I want the pickles to stay on the pizza. I don't want them to come off the pizza, so I'm just going to give it a little extra drizzle of ketchup. And the ketchup's going to help hold those pickles there. And like I said, I love ketchup. So it's just going to be that much better. So we'll get in, we'll give this a try. We'll see what we can do with this. I'm not sure how to attack this, but I'm just going to go at it. Whoa. I don't know if you can make the same thing over and over again and it tastes better the next time. I'm not sure how that works. I'm not sure. I don't know that I did anything different. And I don't know what makes it taste better this time around. Maybe it's the people. It's probably the friends that are around today. And I bet you that's a big part. One thing that I love is memories. I eat this bacon cheeseburger pizza. I can remember every time I go back to the times sitting at the cabin, sitting in Labrador. I'm sitting there now. It's just that great memory. That flavor, that sensation brings back beautiful memories. Catch me on all your favorite social medias. Just search for RT Cooks It. Be sure to tune in next time for some more cooking adventures right here on Eastlink Community TV. Thanks for watching.
RT Cooks It is sponsored by Hickman Automotive Group.